fingers crossed that they find that donor.
Yeah.
Now, we hear a lot about the importance of recycling these days, be it plastic bottles, clothes or furniture. But just how green is recycling? And should it really be our first option for dealing with household items?
Well, a growing movement of charities and green groups says actually we should be focusing far more on repairing and reusing things. Well, Karen Bell is live outside the Melksham Household Recycling Centre in Wiltshire. And Karen, I should imagine it's a popular spot at weekends.
Yes, Victoria, at the moment pretty quiet, but I can guarantee that tomorrow morning, a Saturday, there will be queues of cars arriving here full of people who've been having a really good clear out of their junk. Now, on the one hand, of course, they're being absolutely responsible, aren't they, in bringing that junk here rather than, say, just dumping it. But is all this recycling really the greenest solution for things like electrical appliances and furniture? Well, I've been spending time with a charity who thinks not. The end of an era for this unwanted sofa in Avebury, but unlike most, it isn't heading for the tip. Instead, it's off to a reuse centre and hopefully to a new life. After all, it's not a very old sofa.
Oh, 3 years? Yes.
It's going.
It is going. Hopefully to a good home.
At the KFR Charities base in Devizes, there are aisles of unwanted sofas and many other household items. They've been collected from across Wiltshire and will be sold to anyone who wants them. Some just need a good clean. Others need repairs from qualified technicians. Samad used to be a professional jockey, but when a bad accident left him with few career options, this charity took him on.
They trained me to be a sales admin, office admin, doing customer service, helping the customers, and after that I've improved myself to be a white good technician. So basically I make the dead machines alive now.
There are thousands of items here that might otherwise be at the tip or buried in landfill. They were unwanted by someone but might be needed by someone else. Managers here say that for the sake of the environment we need to place less emphasis on recycling and focus more on repair and reuse.
Well, I mean, recycling is obviously a good thing, but the carbon footprint of recycling is still quite big. You need to drive things there, you need to then remanufacture them to turn them into new things. The most ecological way of doing that is to just reuse it. So everything with a use, in theory, has a reuse.
When you go to a household recycling centre and look around you, what's your reaction?
Oh, it breaks my heart. I mean, you see things that could be reused. There's a lot of poverty in Wiltshire. There's a lot of items that could go to people that need it at very low cost.
In the afternoon, the lorry heads over to Marlborough with a delivery. Karen has just moved here. She's unemployed and urgently needs furniture. Someone didn't want this wardrobe, but Karen does, and she's paid £70 for it.
Perfect. That'll do. That's fine because that's perfect. I've been living in Wales with a career and moved back really quickly because Mum was very, very poorly. And when I moved back, I could only get a small van and I ended up leaving an awful lot of my belongings behind. So they were my first port of call to go and buy reasonably priced furniture that's been donated, and it keeps it out of the landfill, which as an environmental consultant I found very, very important.
Every day as a society we dump thousands of tonnes of items at tips, and many of them head on to landfill. But somewhere, someone is ready to give new life to old goods.
Wardrobe set in the sitting room, please, my lovely.
Now, what do they mean by recycling? Well, if you bring wooden items here, like a wardrobe for example, it will be chipped up into little pellets and shipped to Germany and Sweden to energy biomass plants to be burnt. If you bring a fridge or freezer here, it will be sent to Newport in South Wales to be broken up into its component parts, which are then possibly recycled. Now, all these processes are in themselves very energy intensive, so if your item can be mended or reused, that could well be the greenest option.
OK, Karen, thanks very much for that.